What's up my fellow programmers, hope you guys are doing well. So in this video we will be going through Firebase Firestore, how to set it up in your current app. So this is part 2 of the Firebase React Native series, and in this video we'll just go and store our user data in our Firestore collection, and then what we'll be doing is we'll be saving posts and displaying them on our React Native app as well. So if you guys are interested in this video, please keep watching. This is Rayan Abid, and let's go. Okay, so if you remember in our last video, we created our first React Native app. We also created our Firebase project. So, and we also implemented the login and sign in functionalities. So in this video, what we plan to do is that first let's just separate the login and sign up screens, because right now we are just using the same screens. So what I'll do is I'll just copy the whole thing. I'll create a new file and let's call it signup.jsx. Let's paste it. Okay, I think I only have to change this thing, so let's change it to sign up screen. Okay, I think that's fine now. Let's save it. Okay, so for now let's just remove this login function, and I think rest can remain the same. Sign up screen. Okay, so I think we'll just keep the sign up button. We'll remove the login button. Okay, so we can save this, and let's do the same, but in our login screen we'll remove the sign up function, and let's just remove the sign up button from here as well. Okay, so I think we need that. Okay. Okay, I think this is fine now. So let's import this screen in our app.js. Okay, let's just copy this and import sign up screen. Okay, let's import it. Import sign up screen from src slash screens slash sign up. Okay, and let's call this sign up. Okay, so to check if it's working fine, let's just refresh. Okay, so you can see that our sign up screen is now being displayed, but what if we already have an account? So let's just create that button here. Okay, so I'll just add a touchable opacity, and inside of this we'll have a text saying already have an account question mark log in, and here let's add a on press navigation dot navigate log in. Let's see. Okay, yeah, the spelling is correct. So I think we will have to import this. Oh, it should be like this. I forgot to make it an arrow function, but I think now it's fine. So let's make sure. Okay, we already have the navigation here, so I think we can just save it. Okay, so let's click it. Okay, now we are able to see the login screen. So let's just copy this same thing and add it to our login screen as well, so that if we don't have an account, sign up, and here you can just use go back. Okay, navigation. Okay, so we have to import touchable opacity. Let's import that, save it. Okay, I don't have an account. Okay, so now I don't have an account. So okay, yeah, so this navigation is working fine as well. So okay, so now that our screens are ready, so the reason why we separated our screens is that because we want to now handle, like we want to store the data that we get from the user as well to our database. And to do that, we will use a service known as Firestore. Okay, so now I am like logged into my Firebase console, and from here what you need to do is you can just scroll down, you'll see Firestore here, you can click here. Okay, so what Firestore is for, it's a database, it's a NoSQL database, so that means that it has no structure to it, like you can store any kind of documents here, and you'll just have to create the database. So let's click on here. Okay, so it would ask you like, do you want to start it in production mode or do you want to start it in test mode? So it's totally up to you, but let's just let's wait for this loading to complete. Okay, so once the Firebase Firestore instance has started, you will be navigated to this page. Now the first thing that you should do once you are here, go to rules, and yeah, so you should see something like this: allow read write if false. Just change it to allow read write if true, and then just save it. Okay, so what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to read and write. So there is also another way of doing it, that we first check the authentication, but just to keep things simple, we'll just set it as true. We'll update the rules in the future. Okay, so let's go back to data now. So we want to add we want to store the user that have signed in here as well, so that we can add more documents such as their name and profile picture, like any information that we want to store, we can store here. So to get started with that, let's go to the documentation. This will be linked below in the description. Let's go to initialize, and we are using version 9, so let's just get this, copy, and let's go to our firebase.js. Let's import it here as well, and let's call it const db is equals to get firestore, and let's just it should be db, so yeah, let's just copy and paste this now. Okay, so it is being exported now, and to add data we can just first let's just import these, and let's turn on this as well. So you'll also need to import a db from the same place we are importing auth. So we are importing this because we need this get firestore function. So we have imported add doc and that. Okay, so in this function you can see here that we are getting a response of user credential that has all of the user data. So what we want to do is we want to store the data, and we can do that using this. So in this function we are just using this add doc that we've just imported. We're passing this collection function to it, and then we're passing the db that we just exported from the Firebase file, and here we will write the name of the collection. I'm naming this users. You can also name it like whatever you want, like it's totally up to you. So instead of this, let's just store email. So email dot to lowercase, let's lowercase it and trim it as well so that there are no extra spaces. and let's also store the UID. Now this is important. So UID user dot UID, and finally let's just store the name, but as we aren't getting anything, let's just keep this as empty. So let's just run it and see if this works first, and then we'll move forward. So let's add a user test at testing.com test 1 2 3 4. Sign up. Let's just wait a couple of seconds. Okay, I think it's done. So let's go back to our Firestore and let's just refresh it. Let's go back to data, and I believe we should be able to see the document. Okay, yeah. So here is our users collection, and this is the doc ID, and you can see here that the UID and email are being stored. Okay, so once you have once this function is running and it's storing the data that you've just created to Firestore, what we should be doing next is that we want to show whatever we store. So I think let's just store the name of the user as well here. So what I'll do is in my sign up screen, let's just import my text input and add a name field. Let's call it full name. Let's fix this while we're at it. Set name. Let's create the states on the top. Let's do it here. Copy and okay. So this would be set name and name. Okay, so now we have the name field as well. So instead of saving this as empty every time, let's just do dot trim as well here so that we're not saving the spaces. Okay, so I think this is fine now. So let's just create a new account. Sorry, Rayan Abid and Rayan Abid. Okay. And gmail.com. Let's just keep it like this. Let's not worry about this. And we'll also fix this password field next. Okay, so now you can see that this document has been written, and let's see if it has been added here. I don't think I think we'll have to refresh it, so let's just refresh it. Okay, so like this document is added to Firestore. Okay, you can see this here that it's now saving the name as well. Now what I want to do is that here in my home screen, right below the home screen text, let's just show this name. And so to see like how to do that, we'll go to Firestore documentation. In the Cloud Firestore section, go to read data and get data. You'll just have to go to yeah, this one, get multiple documents from a collection, and we'll be using this. So let's just copy this. Okay, in our home screen. Okay, so let's just paste this. Okay, it's added now, and what I'll do is add a use effect. So for people who might not know what use effect does is, use effect, if you add this array bracket after the function, it just runs whenever the function mounts. So it's similar to component did mount in class components. So that's what it does. So you can see that once I refresh it, it just logs the text, and if I save this again, it just keeps logging that. Okay, so here let's just create a function of get user data. This will be an asynchronous function, and Okay, so here let's just copy this and I'll explain like what's happening here. Okay, so this query function is provided by Firestore collection. This collection refers to this thing. Okay, now we're telling it, and this is the DB, so that get Firestore function. Now here we'll just write users because it's the name of our collection, and this where, this is like how we can find like what value you want to look into. So we are going to search for the UID, so where UID is equals to, and this should be the same as this field name, and here we will just add auth dot current user dot UID. So once you are logged in, Firebase's auth function gives you the current user object, which has some like information related to your current user. So we just want this UID to get the data from our Firestore database, and I think this is it. So this query snapshot just waits and gets this document, and then we are using this query snapshot to just get the data, the document data. And I think this should be it. Let's just save it and let's run it and see if this works. Get user data. It should be a function like this. Okay, so you can see here that it's returning the document ID. Document ID is this thing, and then it returns our data like our email name and all that. Now we want to display our name below the home screen text. So what I'll do is I'll just create a state. Let's name it user data set user data is equals to use state, and let's keep it null for now. And here let's just update it with doc.data like this, and let's remove this console, and then just let's, this is commented now. So here now I'll just go, and inside of this text component I'll just add this user data dot full, okay, it's name. Okay, and let's just add this question mark. So this will check if this value exists, then it will display it, and if it doesn't, then it will just not display that and it won't crash. So this is a good practice to have, and let's just import our use state as well. Okay, use state. Okay, and you can see here that our name is being displayed now. So this is how you can store your data and get your data. So now let's do one more small thing. What I want to do is, okay, so what I want to do now is that let's create a separate screen where I can just create a post, because that is the main purpose of a social media app. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this whole screen code. Let's just do that to save us time. And yeah, let's create a new file and let's call it create post.jsx. Let's save this now, and this should be now create post screen. Save this. Let's go to our app.js and let's just add this screen to our stack. Okay, and we'll call this create post. Let's just import that. Okay, it's imported. Let's copy this. Okay, so in our home screen, let's add another button here. And and add a navigation dot navigate the name of the screen, and let's save it and let's call it create post. Okay, let's add this margin as well here, this divider that we have created. Sorry. Okay, so we have this button now. Let's see if that works. Okay, it's working. Okay, so now in our create post screen, we'll just come here. Let's remove this sign out function. Let's remove this function as well. I don't think we need it. So we'll just write here create post screen. S should be small. Let's keep our name, and okay, I think this will be fine. Okay, so now we need to import some text inputs. So in a post, for now, just to keep things simple, we'll just store text, and I think that should be it for now. So let's go to our sign up just to get that text input component. So let's just copy that and paste it here. So let's also just remove that, and here I'll just write add post. So this is now an add post button. Okay, so I have to import text input component. Okay, create post, name doesn't exist. Okay, so I think let's just set name. Okay, I think set name would also cause some issues, so let's just set text and text. Okay, let's just store this. So value will sort text and set text. Okay, and post text, enter post text. I think we can just keep it like this for now. Let's see, create post. Okay, user data. Oh, okay, so I think I'll have to remove this because I'm not fetching the user data. Okay, create post. Okay, so now we have this enter post text field, and it's working. So now, like we did previously, we'll just create a function of const add post is equals to async. Okay, and let's just go back to the documentation. Let's go to get started, or you can also go to add and manage data. It's totally up to you. So let's see what's in here. Okay, I think okay, so in add and manage data, let's go to add data. The reason why like I show the documentation as well is so that you guys are also aware of like where am I getting this code from, because like I'm not writing this from my like on my own, I'm also copying this. So I want you guys to be aware of it as well, because most of the tutorials that I watch, like I'm confused, like where is this coming from, where can I find this? So I think going through the documentation with you guys is a good practice. It also helps me and it also helps you guys understand better. So let's just add a document. You guys can see this here. So let's just import doc and set doc, and this is the same thing that we did on our sign up screen. So you guys can also copy that code from there as well. That should also work. Let's copy this. Okay, I think we should copy this. I think this is much better in our case. So yeah, let's just copy this, and I think we'll also have to import collection because we want to add text. So we'll name the, okay, let's import db. Okay, it's already imported. Okay, so I'll create a post So let's name the collection as posts. Let's check. So let's save our text image. We're not storing any images for now, so text, we'll just keep text here, and let's also store the posted by auth dot current user dot uid. This will help us in understanding like who posted this, and I think that would be very helpful. So I think we all have already imported this, so let's just add set doc to the one that we have already imported. Okay, and this should solve our error. And let's just copy the function and call it in our button. So okay, I think prettier is causing some issues, so let's just cancel that. Okay, let's now test it. So before we test it, let's just go through the code once. So we are adding a doc in the collection named posts, and here you can see that I'm just getting the text that I've added, and I'm storing the user who posted this. And just to be safe, let's also add an alert. So if text dot length is greater than is let's do is equals to 0, then we'll show an alert. So alert dot alert, please enter text, and let's return it. So let's test it if this works, and let's just change it to string so that you don't face any issues. So yeah, you can see now that if I haven't added any text, it just gives an error. And yeah, this should also be, we should also be using trim here, just so that we don't save any spaces. Okay, so let's now add a post. So let's say, hi everyone, hi everyone, let's add this. Okay, I think something went wrong. Let's just check that. Okay, add dog doesn't exist, so let's add that. Okay, I think now we should be fine. Let's try again. Add post. Okay, you can see that we got that console log document written with ID, then the ID of the post. Let's check it in our Firebase console. Okay, I think we have to refresh it, so let's just refresh it. You can see that we now have this collection called posts, and we have that. So in our home screen now, let's just get all of the posts and show them. So I think that would be much better. So instead of getting the user data, so we are already getting this, so let's just copy this just to save time. And so we want all of that, so let's get posts query.collection.posts, and let's just remove this where, and yeah, query snapshot, get dog data. Okay, so here now we have, what we'll have to do is we'll have to create an array. Let's just do that. Const arr is equals to empty array, then arr dot push doc dot data, and we'll just store this in our state, and this would be set posts and posts. Okay, now let's just keep it as an empty array. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, I think we have to call it. I haven't called it yet. Let's just call it after user data, or let's not just call our user data. Let's just, okay, one more thing. Once we have added the post, let's just go back to the screen. I think that's just good practice to do. So let's do navigation dot go back, and now if we add a post, you can see that I've added a post, and once the post is added, it just goes back to the home screen. And in our home, so now we are just calling our get posts function. Let's just console log this just to see if we are getting data in our array variable. Constant, sorry, it shouldn't be a constant, it should be a variable. So let's just check that. Data in my array. Let's just save it. Okay, data in my array. You can see that we now have 2 posts here. So now is the easy part. Let's just add a flat list, or we can add a scroll view. Both would be fine, but just for the ease of use, let's just import flat list. Now this needs an render item, and here you can just create a small component. Let's just do that. So as for now, we're just showing the text, so let's just add text, and inside of here we'll have to import item and index. So here you can just write item dot text. Okay, text, and let's just make this a view and give it a key of index. So the reason why I added this key is that React doesn't like it when you're looping through some UI components and you're not giving them some unique IDs. So that's the reason why I've added the index as key, because the index will always be unique. So okay, I think okay, so now it's closed as well, and here we'll just have to add the data being our posts array, and let's see if this works. Okay, so I can see that something has happened, but we are not able to see our text. So let's just see why is that. Okay, so the reason why it isn't displaying anything at the moment is because we have to destructure this. I haven't done that. Now you can see that we are able to get our posts. So let's just style this a bit. So let's add some styling to it. Let's give it a background color of, let's do light blue. Padding of 20. Okay, I think this is a lot, so let's do 10. I think this is fine, and style the text as well. So font size, let's do 20. Okay, so you can see that we are now able to add a post and see it here as well. So now if I just add a new post, how is everyone, question mark, add post, it adds it, and we should hopefully see it. Oh, okay, I think it isn't refetching it. So it's an easy fix. And okay, yeah, I think we can just end this for now, and in the next video what we will be doing it is we'll upload images to Firebase storage and storing the URL in our Firestore, and I think that would also be great. And one thing I want to do is I want to work on the UI of this as well. So what I'm thinking is that first let's just complete the functionality and then we can just focus on the UI. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys like this video, please drop a like and share it with your friends, and please do share your thoughts down below. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And this is it. Thank you.